problem, and he clears the second stage, and he barely misses getting the fastest time. And oh, huzzah! Made the dismount? No, he can't. Yes, and Aussie Bro's gonna do it. He has done it. I think he's the first one to do that. Yes, he does, and that is time. And he's out on the triple. Welcome back to Ninja Warrior of Roblox. Today is the Tournament 15 finale. We've had 110 runs onto the course, and out of the 110 we have 5 still remaining. And they're about to take on a Stage 3 that is more brutal than before. Let's see them have what it takes to do what Look 1456 did in the last tournament and get to the final stage. Stage 3, which consists of 7 of the most brutal obstacles of the entire course. It has gone through a few changes since it was beaten in the last tournament. And it begins with the unmodified double rumbling dice. Same rules before, you gotta rumble both dice down the track and make sure that both pass the yellow marks before you can move on to either the next dice or to the next obstacle, which is the 6 flags. Again, unchanged, just jump through 6 flags, each varying in length, distance and height. And after that, they take on the chained seesaws, which has been modified. The jumps between each seesaw are now further than they were before, so not only you gotta get rocking and rolling on this, but you also gotta be fast and cautious. And after that, they're on to the Mega Incline Cliffhanger. Same as what before, you just gotta climb up each of the ledges, go around the 3 corner jumps, I guess you want to call them. But now there's a catch to it. There's not only an additional ledge you gotta jump onto before you dismount, you also gotta make a 180-degree turn, with now making this called the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. Jump onto that ledge, make your way across, and then you're onto the jumping bars, which has been nerfed. The distance between each bar is, but now it's more difficult to get a grip on them. And then they take on the new Truss Junction. Navigate your way around the trusses, and then push this little metal thingy down the track, and then you're onto the bar drop, which has been modified. Now it's simply just using speed to get to the second track. There's now just a simple drop. All you gotta do is survive it, get the bar to the track, and then make your jump to the finish line. And anyone who can do this will have completed Stage 3. There is no time limit in the stage. The 5 competitors still alive just have to beat the obstacles. But let's get down to the action. Let's head down to the course, where Stage 3 is about to begin with our first of our 5 remaining competitors. Kicking off Stage 3 is veteran Jameski Park, who will be attempting Stage 3 for the first time in his career. Begins with a double dice. I mean, it's called a double dice, but, you know, double rumbling dice couldn't fit in the thing, so double dice is good enough, too. Anyway, Jameski Park, the first competitor to beat Stage 2 this tournament, be taking on Stage 3 for the first time in his career. He'll be the first to do it this time. Anyway, he gets past the first dice. He's got All-Star Kyle and Look 1456, the competitor who beat Stage 3 in the last tournament, watching their fellow competitor, and Locke just came out of nowhere. Hey, Lachlan. Anyway, and James has passed the double dice. Now he's onto the 6 flags. Don't mind the 6 flags thing playing in the background. That's what happens every time someone takes on this obstacle. If you watched the previous tournament, you'd know that. And Jameski Park has fallen. During my babbling, he failed the 6 flags. We're gonna take another look at it. He successfully made the jump to 3rd pole, but it looks like he was gonna go for a running jump onto the 4th flat, but before he just timed just a little too late, or if he's trying to get into a better position. Either way, he's out on the 6 flags. That's unfortunate. But now we're on to the only regular to have gotten this far, King of Who No 133. Truth be told, not many regulars make it this far, but King of Who No 133 did. And slowly climbing up the steps, he's clearly nervous, or he's just showing off. Or both. Anyway, here he is. No description for him because, you know, he completed Stage 1 the first time this tournament, and surprisingly got to the 3rd stage. And then there's a random person watching him in the background. I honestly don't know who that's supposed to be. I mean, obviously the name says it all, but I don't know who he's supposed to be the main competitor of. He's not allowed in this tournament. Whatever. That's irrelevant. Anyway, slowly but surely getting past the rumbling dice. Actually got the second dice rolling really nicely. He's past it, now he'll take on the 6 flags. Can he do better than James Kipard? Well, he's taking a slow and steady approach on it. Nothing wrong with that, but just gotta make sure you can get these jumps. Anyway, he's on to the 5th flag. Oh, goes for a front jump through it. Can he take it in the 6th flag? No, he doesn't. He undershoots it. That was a good technique to try on the 6 flags, but let's look at it again in a slow motion. He made it to the first one, but looked like he was close to undershooting this one. In the second one, he just didn't get a good enough running jump to make it to the 5th one. He got just a little further, he possibly could have made it. But even again, going the forward jump is not the best technique to use on this obstacle. But King didn't know that until it was too late. As a result, he blew his chances of not only clearing the obstacle, but at the very least getting far on the stage. I'm not saying he could clear it or anything, but he could have, but I don't know. But anyway, we're past all that. We're on to having that fun times. Again, not gonna lie, a pretty cringy name, but then again, my commentary is pretty cringy, so I'm not one to talk. Anyway, he's surely having a fun time on the rumbling dice. He's getting it rolling nicely and having little to no trouble on it. And like James Kipard, this is also his first attempt on the 3rd stage. I'm sure he's having a fun time just getting this far, and he's certainly having a fun time on the dice. I'm gonna stop. I know that's getting annoying. Anyway, he's on to the 6 flags. This name definitely fits that. Oh! That's not good. He tried to rush the 6 flags. Alright, let's take a look at that again to see what went wrong. Yep. He started going slowly onto the jump to the first 4 flags, but then when he made his way to the 5th and 6th flags, he rushed them. He obviously did not see his footing, and when he was making each jump, it's because he rushed it, he did not get good jumps on the jump to the last flag. So that's 3 competitors now out on the 6 flags, an obstacle I was expecting the least amount of people to fail at. I mean, it is the only well, not the only obstacle, it's one of few obstacles that's unchanged. But anyway, let's go ahead and ignore the fact that you saw my cringy character appearance back from 2 years ago. Golly, I'm so far behind on editing. And anyway, we're on to the Speed Demon Aussie Bro. I keep babbling, not ignoring the fact that they're important people taking on the course. Anyway, Aussie Bro, who is attempting the 3rd stage for the first time since Tournament 3. Anyways, on to the 6th one now. Oh, he's going for speed. No surprise. Oh, and there he goes. Now he does something wise. He pauses before making the jump to the 6th one. Unlike having that fun time who rushed it. Oh my goodness! I didn't even get enough time to say how well or how bad having that fun time down on the 6 flags that Aussie Bro pretty much dashed through the chain seesaws. I was not expecting that, but then again, he's a speed demon. I shouldn't be surprised by stuff like that. Anyway, he'll be the first to take on the modified Cliffhanger. I mean, it's not that much different. It's just the really only difference is addition of a couple ledges, one of them being in 180-degree jump. But anyway, no, he undershoots the jump to the 3rd to last ledge. Oh, let's take a look at that. He was doing so well on the Cliffhanger, taking his going fast when necessary and slowing down when needed to, and he just undershot the jump. It almost looked like he had a good jump, but he just didn't get far enough on that slanted ledge to get the jump onto that ledge. And Aussie Bro has fallen on the Cliffhanger. But it is nice to see him get back to the 3rd stage for the first time in 12 tournaments. And we're already on to our last competitor, Wreathman, who is not only taking on the 3rd stage for the first time in his career, but it's also the first time he's the last man standing. I'm sure he's not expecting this. Clearly now the pressure's getting to him because he's slow climbing up the stairs. He's clearly nervous as he's the last one left. Well, let's see how he does. He's gonna have to take on, first starting off with the double rumbling dice. He's having a little struggle getting it rolling, so he is clearly nervous. Not only is he nervous because, he's the last one left, but he also does not want to make a silly mistake of, making a mistake and flopping early. He does not want to make that mistake. But anyway, he got to get the dice rolling past those yellow marks before he can advance to the next track. Ooh, and he pushes that last die just a bit. That is allowed. As the dice get past the yellow markers, you are allowed to push it a little bit, just the way he did, just to get it further down the track, as you don't want to undershoot the jump onto the track, let alone the one to the next dice. And now, getting the second dice rolling a little more better now. This isn't really an obstacle you can fail. It's really more of a motive killer, I guess you can say. Or I guess an obstacle that's meant to, you know, break your nerves. But I digress. Should replace it with something else next tournament, but anyway. Now he's past the double dice and onto the Six Flags. This took out 3 people before him. Aussie Bro beat it. Can Wreathman do the same? Alright, wanna fight the gun? No! He got bounced off the 5th flag. He slightly overshot it. Well, let's take a look at that. He was doing fine on the 6th flags, timing each jump just right and getting good jump. He even made it to the 5th one nicely, but just look at afterwards, he kind of bounced. I don't know if it's just because he was still moving right because he thought he was going to undershoot it, but as a result, he ended up walking off, and Wreathman is out. And just like that, we have come to the end of Tournament 15. 110 competitors tried, and all we had 12 competitors get past the first stage. 5 of them managed to survive the brutal second stage, but 4 of them were undone by the Six Flags. One of 2 obstacles that was unchanged in this tournament. Not the best way to end the tournament, but at least we did see one competitor take on the cliffhanger, only to be beaten by it. Well, this just goes to show that this course could not be taken lightly, and even the smallest changes can see some success, but also some heartbreaking defeats. But not all hope is lost, because in the next tournament we'll see 103 competitors. Yes, it's no longer going to be 110. 103 competitors take on the next course in the next tournament. Doesn't have as many changes as it did in this tournament, but it just goes to show, as we just saw, that this course cannot be taken lightly. Will we see more success on the first stage, and possibly the second stage, and maybe the third stage? We'll find out when that time comes. But until then, go check out some of my other videos, like and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BubbaAce37 for occasional updates on Ninja War Roblox. Music used and special thanks in this episode in the description. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time for Tournament 16. Oh, wow. Got through this quickly. I didn't get enough time to say many good lines, but we got through the tournament, and that's the end. So I'll catch you all in the next tournament. Until then, ciao, peoples.